Brought to you by My 11 Circle. Win first prize SUV car. Download the app now.
Hello and a very warm welcome to all our Sports Today family members. And I have a very, very special interaction today with Somdev Devvarman, former India tennis star and one of the voices that you would want to hear when you want to talk about tennis in this current age. Hi, Somdev. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining us in this interaction.
Thank you very much for having me. How's it going?
It's all going fine and gearing up for the Australian Open. I mean, how excited are you to see 2023? Could we possibly see the new generation dismantle the dominance of Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal in 2023?
Well, 2023 is here, tennis season's here, so obviously that's exciting. And the thing about it is we've been talking about dismantling Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal from the top of the game for 3 or 4 years now. So
Yes.
the conversation still continues, but the fact remains is that the number one seed at Australia is going to be Rafael Nadal. The favorite in Australia is going to be Novak Djokovic. So, I mean, yes, last year did we see, last couple of years, have we seen players challenge them? Have we seen other players win slams? Yes, we have. Daniel Medvedev has done it. Carlos Alcaraz has done it. But still, I do think that when it comes to slams, the two of them are still the dominant favorites. And that's just going by, recent history of how they fared at every Grand Slam. I mean, let's not forget, Rafael Nadal came in last year. There were question marks around him. What did he do? He won the tournament. Novak Djokovic has won the tournament 9 times. And the last time Novak has lost in Australia was way back in 2018. So, yeah, I do think that the two of them are still, very much at the top of the game. Are we going to see a young resurgence? Well, it's closer now than it's ever been.
Absolutely. I mean, Medvedev pushed Rafael Nadal to the limit in 2021 and 2022, sorry. And so, if you have to look at it, when you look at the race for Grand Slams, Nadal has 22, Djokovic has 21. When you look at that magic number of 24, do you see either of them breaching that mark? Or do you think Djokovic has a clear edge when you look at Nadal when it comes to slams? Because he's younger than him, plus he's fitter than Nadal.
Great points. I mean, do I think either of them can reach it? Yes, I do think both of them can reach it. I mean, let's not forget, Roland Garros is just a couple of months away. Who's going to be the favorite there? Who's going to be the heavy favorite over there? It's undoubtedly going to be Rafa. And yes, when it comes to Novak, I think you made fair points. He's only at 21. In my opinion, he's only at 21 because of the personal stance he's taken, which is, with vaccines, we don't need to get into it. But because of that, he wasn't able to compete at the US Open. Because of that, he wasn't able to compete at Aussie last year. And now he's, back raring to go and looks to be in fantastic form. So I think both of them can get it. In terms of who do I think can get more, I think, again, you hit the nail on the head. When it comes to Novak, I think that he's in a better position simply because A, he's younger, but B, his injury status when compared to Rafa's, it's his body's in much better shape. Also, I think just like Rafa will be a favorite at Roland Garros, Novak is a very hard man to beat at Wimbledon. He's one of the only guys who kind of really loves playing on the grass and has found several times in his career he's been very successful by winning it. So, and then coming into Aussie, I think favorite again even though Rafa is the defending champion, favorite has to be Novak. So every time you go into these Grand Slams, 3 out of 5 sets make such a massive difference because, to take a set or two of these players, yes, it's possible. People have done it, on the tour regularly, but not that often because every time they step on the court, they're still the favorites. So I do think both of them can get to 24. And I actually think that Novak, if he stays healthy, he can maybe surpass it.
Okay, so shifting our focus now from the Djokovic-Nadal debate and the younger brigade, there was some news which kind of saddened a lot of Indian tennis fans with Sania Mirza announcing that February it will be her last. Is it truly the end of an era when it comes to, if Sania Mirza calls curtains on a career in February, is it an end of an era when it comes to Indian tennis?
It is. I mean, the impact that Sania has had on tennis in India has been incredible, really. I mean, for me, it's, I've seen her from the 12s, 14s with a similar age. We traveled together when she won Wimbledon for the first time in 2003 with Alisa Klebanova. Nobody expected that. And then her career just, took off. She did incredible things. By 2006, she was, winning tour events, being top 30 in the world, in singles as well. And then, of course, in doubles, we all know the success that she's had. So when she leaves, will there be a void? Absolutely. But this was coming. All good things come to an end. She did announce this last year, so it's not a massive surprise in that sense. She has her her son. She's very involved in his life. She's very entrepreneurial. She's very ambitious. So I do think that the next step, whatever it will be for Sania, will be very exciting to witness, to watch, because she's destined for great things. And for me, while looking back at her career, although this is saddening news in a sense that she's not going to be around anymore, I think for me it's a celebration, because who would have thought that a girl from Hyderabad could come and just take the Indian sports scene by storm, win at the international level, play against the very best in the world, and then move on to be number one in the world in doubles, winning Grand Slams. So just looking at the entire way her career has unfolded, and the great things that she's achieved. For me, when you talk about Sania Mirza's retirement, we're talking about a massive celebration in Indian sport.
You said that there will be a void. Now, among this current crop of players that are there in India, who do you think can match up to Sania's achievements, and who can do well for India in all these Grand Slams in the near future?
Matching up to Sania's achievements, those are big shoes to fill. You're talking about somebody who's top 30 in the world, or in singles, number one in the world in doubles, winning slams. So those are tough shoes to fill. I think we have to take things step by step, because right now the truth is, with tennis in India, do we have a few promising players? Yes, we do. But again, at that level, it's too early to say. It's almost like talking about the young stars of today's game and say who's going to win 20 Grand Slams. Well, 20 is a really far number. Who can win 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, that's possible, and there's a lot of players that can do that. But with Sania, I think she's reached that level where her name is synonymous with greatness. And when you're talking about tennis in India, Sania is the person that you have to mention.
Well, that is a very interesting insight, Somdev. Thank you so much for your time. And before we wrap up, who are tipping to win the Australian Open this time?
I can't look past Iga Swiatek. I really can't. I know she's not in the greatest form, but she's number one in the world. She won 2 slams last season. And super dominant. So for me, she's the best player in the world. I'm not going to look past her, although I do believe that, Coco Gauff, Jessica Pegula, Rybakina, Krejcikova, there's a lot of players that are healed, Sabalenka as well. They'll provide a stiff challenge, but if Swiatek's on her game, it's tough to beat. And on the men's side, that's the hardest one, because Rafa is the defending champion, but in my opinion, Novak is the man to beat, because he just won Adelaide one more time. His 92nd tour level title. He does have a few niggles, a few injuries, hamstring, knee. We have to wait and see. But knowing the kind of guy that he is, the kind of form that he always starts the season with, he's won the Australian Open 9 times. Let's not forget. So for me, in Australia, on the hard courts there, the favorite has to be the favorite has to be Novak, with Rafa as a close second, despite being the number 1 seed and a defending champion.
Okay, Somdev, thank you so much for your time and interaction and for your insights. And don't forget, the Australian Open begins on January 16th. You can watch it on Sony Sports 10.2 and Sony Sports 10.5. Somdev, once again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Take it easy, guys. See you soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
मेरे साथ जुड़िए मनाने के लिए क्रिकेट का सबसे बड़ा त्योहार। मैच से जुड़े आपके हर सवाल का हम देंगे जवाब। जानने के लिए हर अपडेट, लाइव एनालिसिस, स्पेशल इंटरव्यूज, डाउनलोड कीजिए स्पोर्ट्स तक ऐप।